What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, powerful RJE. What's going on? Yo, greetings from Hungary. Welcome. Hopefully, the stream and everything goes well today. Not 100%. Weather's interesting. Let's go, Super Crow. You rock. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate it. I am going to be disclosing some information today that I hope really helps everybody. Something that I've been keeping an eye on for quite a while. And I figure, let's just see what happens. Kind of wait for more people to pile in here as people get their notifications and things. I am live. This is not even a premiere. I'm actually live right now. What's up, Crypto Cricket? Yo, success. What's going on? Glad to have you. Chris Johnson, what's up? Crow Army's in the house. As I like to call everyone, my murder of crows. Jake the Red, what's up, man? There's some things that, a lot of people have been, following me for a long time, since 2017. I know some of you guys have been, just watching, listening, having fun with me over the years. And every once in a while, I come across something. I just did a, what do you call it? I just did one of these. You can't really tell what it is. It's something called Zen. And sometimes it gives me the hiccups really bad. So you'll have to bear with me as I'm getting through this. Matt Stew, what's going on? Doug Hunt, the Crow is back. Yeah, I've been going live. I think I started going live again last week. I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I took the weekend off, and here I am Monday, ready to go at noon. And, hopefully I can get the algorithm to like me again. And, I'm live right now on my personal Facebook, a Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter, apparently. So, and all I see are comments from YouTube right now. I don't see some destinations won't get comments. So if people are leaving comments on some of the other platforms, unfortunately, I won't see them. I only see the YouTube stuff. But Gulf Coast Granny's been lurking since 2017. That's pretty cool. Profit Trailer 2018. Yeah, I loved Profit Trailer before they changed everything. Victor Rand, thank you. Your video quality is really good. That's awesome. I when I first started talking about Cardano, it was 2 cents. Or actually, no, when I first started talking about it, it was 33 cents. That's right. I think I bought 15,000 ADA at the time, and it was 33 cents. And then it went up, hit like $1.33, peaked out, dropped back down, came all the way down to 2 cents in the bear cycle. And then I wanted to load up. There was a point that I could have got 400 something thousand ADA for one Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin was like $8,400 at the time. And the spread against Bitcoin was just crazy, and I didn't do it. Even though I was a big believer in the project, I was kind of like, I don't want to get greedy. It almost felt too good to be true, and I didn't do it. And then I ended up buying like a whole bunch later. So, it is what it is. I still did well. Obviously, I did well, but it was a difficult time, right? And sometimes when I look at a project, I think to myself, what does this mean long term? What happened with other projects similar to it before it? And then I just start watching, right? And I haven't done a video like the one I'm going to do today in a long time. And I'm really hoping that people really understand that I really think this is going to be something special. And I think that now is definitely going to be a time. I say now, but I say now relatively speaking. So first things first, Bitcoin's current price right now is sitting at around 29.4. Okay. We have about, let's see, from the current price until if it were to go down. So Bitcoin could potentially drop another 25%. Okay. If Bitcoin were to bounce off of the 200 weekly moving average right now, it would have to go down almost 26% from where it's currently at and bottom at around 22,000. Okay. Now, I don't really think that's going to happen. I think it's going to take some time. Maybe it'll be in June. Okay. originally I thought, you know, it's going to be a lot more likely that we potentially bottom out in July. But this whole Terra Luna business just really sent people running scared. So that's a big part of, I think, why we've seen some drastic price action to the downside in a very short period of time. And so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. Because if everybody is so scared and they think that anything they hold could just plummet overnight because they don't understand what Luna was, they don't understand why that happened, they don't understand any of it. They just see, oh my gosh, this crypto that was worth like $85 just dropped to practically zero. And of course, I was trolling a little bit on my Twitter, basically saying I bought 2.5 million Luna, not because I expected to go back to its all-time high, but because I wanted to get into a meme coin at the ground floor. And I just thought it was funny. I mean, I really did buy the Luna, but I bought it expecting, I bought it almost just so that I can troll, like so that I could be like, I bought this XYZ. You know, some people use that as like a badge of honor, like, well, Crow bought it, I'm good. No, I did that. That's why I made those jokes, just to let people know, you know, this probably isn't going to end well. And it did, it doubled like the first, like when I bought it and then I posted that tweet, the price did double. And now it's come back down and it's much less than it was when I bought it for, and I'll hold it forever. I don't care. You never know what could happen. But yeah, it is kind of funny. So when I'm looking at the price of this stuff, there's a lot I take into account. So when I'm looking at the current price, I'm like, things could go lower because typically if Bitcoin goes down, a lot of other stuff goes down too, especially in a bear market. And so we have to wait and see what happens there. But I'm going to look at something else. So this is Sand, okay? This is not my pick, but this is Sand's price action. Back here, it was about 1.5 to 2 cents. Okay, this was August of 2020. And over the period of 469 days, it went up 34,424%. Let me make this bigger for you so that you can see it. We started here and it went all the way up. And then once the real bull market, like the parabolic kind of run up, started kicking off in October of 2021, we saw drastic upswing. All right. There's another project that did something similar. This is Mana, otherwise known as Decentraland. This did the same thing. This is March of 2020, came all the way back up, not quite as much as Sandbox, but it still went up 25,000% over a 609-day period. 469 days, really, really high. 25,000% over 609 days. Now, if we look at the token metrics, max supply of Sandbox is 3 billion tokens, right? If we look at the max supply of Decentraland, 2.1 billion, about 2.2 billion tokens, all right? Relatively the same. Now, what did Sandbox have that Decentraland didn't? Well, one was its kind of voxel-based block art style that a lot of people that were big in, I'm not sure if you already covered this. I've been out a couple weeks. I will get this. I will get to some of these questions. I'm going to scroll up so that I don't miss the questions because I will be covering a lot. I'm going to try and hit every question when I'm done with this video. But there are 235 people. Smash the likes if you haven't yet. Legitimately, smash the like button. I need to really rebuild my algorithm. Let me tell you guys this. For everyone that's in here right now and those that are going to continue coming in as I'm moving forward, the more you hit that like button, the more active you are in the chat and the more active you are after the video publishes and you're in the comments, the more the algorithm likes me, the better my numbers get, the more often I go live. If I get to a point where me going live twice a day makes sense, I'll do it. And I will really, really put in a lot of work to make sure the content's worth your attention. But I need your help. I ultimately do need your help, because I do feel like I'm fighting an algorithm that just has not liked me in quite some time. And I'm really trying to do this for both of us. Okay. So anyway, right now, Sandbox is trading at $1.32. Decentraland is about $1.20. Now, this is all post-peak market, right? And if we look, where was Decentraland's all-time high? This was back in November, which you'll remember was the second peak of the bull cycle, and it was trading at about $5.12. What was Sandbox high over the course of the past year? This also was in November, and it was trading at almost $8. So it went from 2 cents to $8. Okay. Decentraland went from 2 cents to about $5. I believe, you guys ready? Do you guys want to know what I really think is going to just get in the groove of the metaverse? What project do I was going to title this video, I bought 500,000 X, right? And I didn't do it yet. And I'll explain why I didn't buy them yet, but I definitely plan on it. And I know I shouldn't be doing this video before I've actually bought, because I could be really screwing myself, because some of you with more patience than I have are probably going to go out and buy this. I'm not telling you to buy this token. Okay. I am not a financial advisor. I don't want to set up anybody for anything ever. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think is really going to do well in the peak of this next market. We're going to go into it with a lot of detail. We're going to go into the roadmap. We're going to go into a lot of stuff. What do I think is going to really break serious ground in the metaverse and compete with Decentraland and compete with the Sandbox? I think it's this. I think it's this. This is called cornucopias. Now, the main website, they really need to change some of this, and I don't know if it's because of the way it's styled, but cornucopias, the island awaits. This is going to be some shit, and I'm telling you, because right now it's trading at about 2 cents. Okay, and there are 3.6 billion max supply of these Copy tokens. The problem right now is liquidity. It's very, very low. Why is it low? Because the game has not launched yet. You can't log in. You can't play around. You can't do anything yet, but it's coming. And when it does come and people are able to log into this thing and actually start messing around with the real estate builder and all of the tools that these guys are pumping out, I believe this is going to go freaking gangbusters. And if it happens before even the bull market, I still see a price increase in this. I really do, which is why I was really trying to buy 500,000 before I did this video. So why do I think this is going to be a big deal? And why am I doing this video now? Well, because this is me giving to you guys who are like tuning in live. You're engaging the algorithm. You're helping me help you. Okay. I think this is going to be big. Now, full disclosure, what was it? I don't know, 5 months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I actually had a video chat with the team of Cornucopias, because we were talking about, they brought it to my attention. They were like, hey, this is our project. This is our background. This is everything that we're doing. This is everything we're planning. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'll keep a lookout. And I have been keeping a lookout ever since. And so far, these guys have been crushing it. And they did send me, I think a bunch of people got them, but they did send me like a free NFT car. It's like a flying car, almost like from the Jetsons. So they did send me something, but this isn't paid. They're not. The project doesn't work. My little flying car isn't worth shit anyway, so I don't really care. But I am trying. Because I see so many things that okay, I'm getting rambly. All right. This project has a sick amount of potential. I have watched many videos on this project. I have watched game development videos. I have watched gameplay videos. I have watched cinematic trailers. I have watched a lot that these guys have been putting out, and this thing looks freaking sick. Now, it's not blocky like Minecraft. It's based on the Cardano blockchain. Okay. Now, I've seen other people, they've come to me. What do you think about Pavia? What do you think about, these different metaverses that people really so anxiously want to buy into? And I go to Pavia and I'm like, nothing's blowing my skirt back. There's not enough information on the website. I'm not seeing enough developmental milestones. I'm not seeing enough activity to merit my interest in this project. I'm sorry. For anybody that got into it, you guys were waiting for my glowing endorsement. There isn't one. I don't know enough about it. I'm just not that into it. Now, this cornucopias I've been following for a while, and I actually trust these developers to really bust out everything they're trying to do. And I, how when you have, like you guys watch me. I mean, you get my feel, my vibe. I'm pretty straight up. I'm kind of call it as I see it. I'm not about the bullshit. I don't have time for the bullshit. These guys very much seemed like they just want to create something great. And it's not about money. It's not about, because if it were, some of the things that have been like, if these guys were just about the money, this would all be structured much different, which is one of the reasons why I want to get more involved with these guys as an advisor or what have you. I'm even willing, this is how much I like this project. No bullshit. I am willing to leverage my YouTube channel to help these guys get more exchange listings for their token, because I want to see more people be able to get in and out easily and build liquidity. And it's not even just, it's not for me, it's for everyone else that I think is going to want to get into this project once you've read the white paper, once you've watched some of the videos, once you've really kind of sunk in and you've followed up with like what's being built and how big a deal I think this really is going to be. And I want people to be able to get out in and out easily without having to rely on like DEXs, stuff like that. Okay. Now, it is available on Miniswap, which is a Cardano DEX, which is cool. And I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, I mean, the site looks cool, all that, it's cool. I was messing around with the app and it looks simple enough. And you can also get it on the Binance Smart Chain if you so chose. You get in your MetaMask, you change the network to buy, and they have, there are actually videos on here, like right here. Here's a tutorial on how to get Kopi tokens through PancakeSwap. And it shows you how to set it up, how to import the custom token using the smart contract address, all that fun stuff. So you can do all that. That's not what I'm here about. But when I look at the tokenomics of Decentraland and Sandbox, Sandbox is like the big poobah. I own land in Sandbox. I own a 3x3 plot of land that actually somebody who's been following me a long time just sent to me. He was like, here, I'm not going to do anything with it. Do something with it. Have fun. I appreciate your work in your channel. I'm like, okay, cool. And at the time it was worth a little bit, nothing crazy, but I'm like, that's really nice of somebody to donate that. And so I feel obligated to do something for the public, right? And I don't know what to do. And I just talked to a development company, actually Hack Crypto, who I was chatting with him. He's got this whole platform about basically hiring builders for Sandbox. And I was literally just chatting with him and I'm like, hey, what should I expect to pay for somebody to build out all of my land parcels in Sandbox? I've got a 3x3 plot. If you go to the map, it's got a little picture of me. And I didn't know what else to do. And he's like, yeah, it might be like 250 grand. I mean, basically he was telling me it'd be like, 75 to 85 Ethereum for a team of like 5 builders working for 3 months. That's real money, man. That's a big, big deal. That's a lot of cash to build something in a metaverse that could be really fruitful. But from a purely like a speculative or business perspective, like, would that generate any kind of return? Or would I be better off just buying ADA and like letting it sit for a few years? Like, how does that merit my money, right? And the thing of it is I've dabbled in, building stuff on the Sandbox. I've played with their tools. I've chatted with a lot of like pixel artists, voxel artists. Nobody wants to touch the Sandbox's tools. Nobody likes them. And so that is kind of a problem. And I think that's a part of why, I mean, they're cumbersome, clunky. They're not very intuitive. I've played with them. I've talked to people about them. It's kind of a problem. Now, it's probably something that'll ultimately be addressed someday, but they're giving a pathway to other metaverse projects like Sandbox, these big, giant open world, people own their own land. You can build on your own land, all that. It's opening up an opportunity for competition. Then you've got Decentraland, which, excuse me, I spilled some in my mustache, my coffee. Then Decentraland is similar, but the art design, all of that stuff is very, very different. I'm not even very familiar with the tools associated with creating, materials, assets, in-world assets and things like that in Decentraland. But I like it. I bought mana. Hell, I don't know how long ago. I found it on a wallet. I'm like, oh, I still have mana. I think I have like 1,500 or something like that. I want to say 15,000, but I really don't think I have that many. But it was when it first came out, I was really into it. And I know at one point my mana tokens were worth a decent little chunk of change. And then I forgot all about it again. I've been so focused on Cardano for so long, obviously. Anything else I owned, I just didn't care. So I still have my mana tokens and I'll use them for something someday. But now I can't even buy land. You can't even buy property really in mana without it being insanely expensive. So I'm like, okay, cool. Good for Decentraland. I like it. I've touched on it. Awesome. And then I look at Cornucopia and I'm like, here's a platform that is learning from what everyone else has done, similar to Cardano, if you ask me. They're taking the pros from everything and they're getting rid of the cons. And they're creating a multiverse, metaverse, whatever you want to call it. And it just looks sick. And I was talking to them in the past about some ideas that I thought would be really cool. Like a bounty hunting system, I've always wanted to play a bounty hunter in a game and like be able to chase people down and use gadgets and tools to help me along the way. And if I can do that in a way that basically rewards me with something like a financial incentive, maybe there's a bulletin board of bounties that people are posting on other players for scamming them or playing them or doing something bad or whatever. And then bounty hunters within the world can go bouncing from island to island and search for whoever these people are and have a way of doing something that generates a reward for them, right? And we were talking about that. I was throwing all these ideas out and they loved it. They were super receptive. And the fact that they were so receptive and they were so open, I'm like, this is going to be key. This is going to be so big. I don't know what else to say other than I really, really think you guys should check this stuff out. Now, if you want to look at the tokenomics, they're right here. Token allocation, they're very specific about what they're doing and when with what, how many tokens are floating around, what the purpose of those tokens are, and then you get to the roadmap. Now, the roadmap is pretty extensive and it's very well detailed. So you can go through this roadmap. I'll make this a little bigger. You can go through this roadmap. Everything in green are things that they've already accomplished, basically kind of laying the foundation. Bubble jet sprinters. That's what they sent me, a bubble jet sprinter. It's basically an NFT car. And when the world launches, I'll be able to use this NFT vehicle to fly around like one of the Jetsons. But they're actually super cool. I mean, they're really cool and really slick looking. I would love to have like some kind of freighter, like some kind of big party freighter, like in Entropia Universe. Was it Die or whatever? And he basically launched this big island or this big planet. It was a moon or something like that. And he paid like $400,000 in real money for it. Everybody thought he was crazy. And he like tripled that in like a year. And it just became this huge thing. And it was basically like a big nightclub on this moon. And everybody would fly out and they would all party. And it was crazy. And it was all virtual. It was like the first virtual realm to virtual realms. Like I accredit Entropia Universe to a lot of what I think is happening right now in the metaverse. And quite frankly, even when I was trying to launch that game back in, 2006, where basically you would own your parcels of land and you could build on it and you can everything I had laid out in that plan for the game that failed, basically, I'm seeing it all now in the metaverse. Like everything I was trying to do like 9 years ago, whatever, however long ago, is now basically a common thing in the metaverse. And it makes me sick to my stomach because I don't know how many times I've tried to be a pioneer of something great, but I've just never had the capital to do anything with it. And because to do this stuff, you need a full team. So anyway, 2022 NFT sale, Kopi Watch publication. That's pretty cool. Kopi token, Cardano launch and DEX listing. This, I think, is going to be much easier for most people that are following this game, especially if you're Cardano holders, to be able to get your hands on it. The problem is I wouldn't use Cardano that I bought at a higher price than it's currently sitting at to buy these tokens. If anything, when I go in, I'm going in with new money. I'm going in with new fiat. I'm not going to basically use anything I've already got that has come down in value since I originally bought it or whatever. I'm just not going to bother doing that. I'd rather go in with my 2 cents than buy a Kopi token for 2 cents. I'm not going to buy with tokens that I've had sitting for a while. Mobile game release and internal alpha, Android mobile phone, NFT marketplace, limited alpha, Bubble Jet Sprinter OG edition test. Now, these things in orange are things that are actively being worked on right now to complete the milestones. The website merchandise shop launch, Kopi Wiki, which is going to be very valuable, I think, over time and answer a lot of questions. NFT marketplace with a limited beta, free Bubble Jet Sprinter OG edition. And then in Q2, at some point, some of this might be getting pushed back. I'm going to guess that we're not seeing more orange on here because of the market crash, and resources may be a little bit more stringent, and these guys aren't doing NFT land sale. Like, I want land in cornucopias. I don't care if I have to work for it or buy it. I'm getting land in cornucopias. Just know that it's happening. And so I definitely want to be a part of this group, in a way, because I see what they're building and I see their progress already. And I'm like, this is going to be a big damn deal. This really is going to be a big deal. Now, I will probably do a follow-up video at some point in the future where I am actually showing you guys some videos, some content associated with it, and give you guys a better idea. But I would really like for you guys to do some of your own digging. I would love for you guys to check out what are these guys building? Why am I excited about it? I want you to answer these questions more. Why? Because I don't want to just basically sit here and say, I'm buying this, and then you feel like, Crow bought it, I should too. I want you to understand the whys of it. I want you to compare what's happening with cornucopias, Sandbox, Decentraland, and others, and try to get an understanding as to why I care so much about this project, why I'm hounding the development staff and saying, let me in, because I really think that this is going to be a big deal. And the fact that I can buy into this right now at 2 cents, while they've already shown a lot that they're building. Where's the one video? They have one video. Is it this one? I'm not sure. I'm going to see if I can. Yes. Look at this. This is the in-game builder that they're working on. And this is just like alpha. Hold on. Come on. Here we go. Watch this.
So we've got a way of improving this already. So I mean, the first build wasn't too bad. So there we go. There's a wall. Now let me put in here.
So I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you can see what it looks like as he's finishing more of it.
Rob's talking about another type of land that we didn't mention earlier, but that's the personal bubble. Everybody gets 2 trees in a hammock to start in their own personal bubble.
This is the personal bubble that we're in now.
Yeah, and this is what you get to build upon. Yeah.
Doing it.
Yes.
And actually, this isn't level 1. This is actually quite a few levels up.
They're just showing off some of the stuff that they're doing. So, I mean, listen, I know that it's easy for someone like me to be like, this is going to be huge. This is going to be a lot of fun. You should check it out. Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying check it out. I'm not saying buy it right now. I'm not saying dive into this project head first, guns a-blazing. I'm saying get acquainted with it because it's very likely going to become a household name by the peak of the next market. And like I always say, any investment in crypto is a risk, anything. Okay. And me buying into Cardano at 2 cents or 33 cents or whatever was a risk. But it's making the educated risks associated with what's been done, what's happened with the projects that have come before it, and how I feel this is going to build and take shape over time. The fact that we're in a bear market right now, and we're going to have likely between 2025 and 2026 before we see a peak. The question is, how much will this team get done over the next 2 years alone? That's the question. And so for me, I'm looking at the roadmap and I'm like, let's see, 2023, what? Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say that they're going to conquer a lot of this stuff, right? And so that to me is like, all right, I have no problem investing. Keep an eye on the development, keep an eye on their YouTube channel, subscribe to their YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, watch these interviews, listen to these guys talk. These guys are not here because they're just trying to make a whole bunch of money off of the backs of people that think this is like cool. These guys are here because they want to build a world, and they're building a world, and I'm along for the ride. Hopefully you guys check this stuff out and you join me the same way many of you guys did. And here's the thing. I don't own any of this yet. I really don't. I don't own any of the Kopi tokens. I don't own shit. If you guys pump the price because I'm out here talking about how cool I think this is, then that's just, that just sucks for me. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll do well regardless. I mean, at this point. So I really do like this project a lot, and these guys are not paying me shit. I can't even get them to really respond to my messages in a fast period of time. So, because I have questions and I'm kind of throwing a lot of shit at them at the same time. Like, oh, what about this? And what about that? And I got to wait around and for somebody to check the chat and then they'll answer, but they at least do. And they come around. So yeah, I mean, when I look at the Sandbox and Decentraland and where they're at, and then I look at Cornucopia at 2 cents, knowing what's coming just by researching, reading their white paper, getting an idea for the world they're looking to build. Yeah, I'm all about this, and I definitely am going to be covering it a lot more in the future. So without further ado, let's check out some of the questions and see what you guys have to say before we sign off and conclude Monday and send you guys out into the world to try and I don't know, build your own legacy. Do you think this bear market could be extended because of all this sudden fear, or maybe speed up? Every time we try to look at the market cycles and think that there's a justification for a change in the length or term, it's disproven. So I'm just letting the cards fall where they may. I mean, I'm looking at the price action, and to be quite honest with you, I have always had this underlying contention that there is something, whether it's artificial intelligence, it's some sort of algorithm, there's something that leads the Bitcoin price action through these cycles. And I don't necessarily believe it's retail market psycho, anything. I just don't. I think that there's something that leads the charge in an algorithmic level, and then everyone else kind of follows that, because the fact that we've been able to time these markets almost perfectly since inception to some degree, I think there's more to it than just like retail. What's the word I'm looking for? Psychology, right? I just think there's more to it than that. You know how you see the Bitcoin cycle charts or the market cycle charts, and it goes up here, and oh, now we're in deception, and now we're in euphoria, and then it drops, and now we're in comfort, or whatever the hell it says. I think there's more to it than that. And like anything else, I feel like the price action moves, and then everybody tries to pump out a new article trying to justify it and explain it away. And I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. To me, the price action of cryptocurrency as a whole, as it relates to these market cycles, it's all been predetermined. I mean, a lot of the price action, to me, to some degree, has been built on supply and demand over time, and its adoption over time. And I just don't think that that's going to change because one project went under or whatever. I think we have plenty of time to recover throughout the rest of this bear market. Just because Bitcoin, let's just say Bitcoin's price were to bottom in July and we bounce off of this 200-week moving average, we still have this whole channel that I expect us to trade sideways in. Think about how long, I mean, every one of these, every tooth within this channel could be a month or a month and a half or 2 months even. So, and this is a weekly candle chart. We've got until 2024 until I think things are really going to start taking off and even have a remote chance of breaking above a $49,000 mark. So it's going to be all of this sideways action that happens between now and then that I think ultimately sets the stage for what's to come, because the next halving is when I think things are going to really turn around. And I don't really think it's going to change much. I bought 150,000 Luna for $11 and sold it for $45, winning. Bought ADA with the profits. Well, there you go. I'm glad that was fun. And like I said, I bought some literally just to have fun with it. I do not expect anything. Doug Hunt, I'm not sure if you already covered this. I've been out a couple weeks. What are your thoughts on DJED or JED? Sorry, JED being an algorithmic stablecoin? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't dove in much. I just know that algorithmic stablecoins aren't doing so well. So, here's the thing. Quite frankly, I don't care about any of these stablecoins until crypto regulation is really surfaced, because I just don't see a lot of these stablecoins out in the market surviving past regulation. And we're seeing it. And I've been saying this now for what, a year, 2 years? I don't know. Whenever I started, the regulation in the space right now, it's not just about protecting the retail investor. It's really not. It's about protecting the institutions that are paying for the people making the decisions. And right now, these institutions are the central banks and all of these big groups, and they want to protect their interests on a global economy, and they're going to do that through CBDCs, and they have the power to usher in regulations that are going to benefit the CBDC and kick every other piece of shit out that's in the market, taking up market share. So that's what I see coming. Until that's laid out in front of us, I'm not really worried about any stable coin on any blockchain, to be quite honest with you. If anything, we're going to have like wrapped CBDC tokens and stuff like that all over the place so that everything's working. You've got CBDCs working on all the different blockchains, because I think that is going to be the backbone ultimately of crypto assets. And ultimately, we're going to trade in and out of that with Bitcoin. Crow, do you no longer believe in Celsius? That's a good question. It's not about no longer believing in Celsius, because like anything else, Celsius is kind of at the mercy of whatever the regulatory framework is at the time. I believe in Alex Mashinsky. I believe in his team. I believe in everybody that I've met over there, everybody I've talked to. I believe in their goal and their mission. But ultimately, when you're trying to build a company with the middle finger to the face of those calling all the shots, it's a tough uphill battle. And it's one that only I think somebody like an Alex Mashinsky or a Charles Hoskinson or somebody like that could really face. I've always kind of looked at Alex Mashinsky as a bit of a maverick, somebody who, like when he came out and he was doing the whole voice over IP thing to basically stick it to the telecom companies. I mean, he did that. And the legacy of that is something we all still use today, things like Zoom and Skype and so forth. So he's somebody that I definitely believe in, but I think that, how much power does one wealthy man have in the face of institutional regulatory interests? So it's not that I don't believe in Cell or Celsius or what they've done or what they've been doing, but I don't necessarily know what the future holds for them as new regulations start to come out and things start to change in the crypto economy. That's basically where I would leave it at that. Cornucopias all the way. Yes, indeed. Let me take another sip of my coffee. I don't know what it is about when I start talking a lot or I go live and then all of a sudden my sinuses want to start clearing and I want to start choking myself. Let me put this up while I'm talking. Where is it? I will let everybody know I'm having some fun with Kali Linux. I'm setting up a Kali Linux box because I want to start getting into ethical hacking a little bit and just learn. I mean, because I'm always kind of curious I want to, like, I've got books on it now. I've got courses that I'm going to be doing, and I've got this big old computer here that I'm setting up. I'll take a picture of it when it's all set up, because some of you guys will freak if you're a big tech head. Wait till you see what kind of laptop I'm running this stuff on. It's pretty ridiculous. I'm always interested in like different exploits, things that people might be trying to use against me or others or other YouTubers. And I want to be more secure, and I want to learn like some of the tricks, how to prevent certain things that might happen and may not happen, whatever. I just want to learn. That's really it. I mean, I remember when I used to work at, when I was like 17 years old, I worked for an Apple call center, and I was one of like 35 different people. And there were a lot of hackers, man. I mean, we had to memorize, we literally memorized. This was back 755 was the last operating system. I had the entire file structure memorized, and basically everything before it, because we had to be able to walk people through, click here, do this, do that, do this, from memory. And like back then it was like a pretty cool deal. But I know that our tech lead at the time, I think he had gotten busted in college because he had hacked like a Unix mainframe at UC. And he was like passing out the Unix source code he used to do it. And he was cool, man. He was really cool. He was like super nerd though. He's like nerd on steroids, and I loved him. Everybody did. He was super cool. But he was a brain. And I remember this call center, I worked there for, I don't know, I think I was there maybe 6 months. And we were always rated on like call times, call quality. They were always like recording us and like rating us and stuff. And it was me and like 6 other people. We were always in the top 7. And I remember me and a dude named, oh God, was it Matt Flowers? I can't remember. I think it was Matt Flowers and Ken Beard or Ken Bird or something like that. He's the one that got me into like betting on Mike Tyson. But anyway, we were always the top 3. I mean, every day it was one of the 3 of us in the number 1 position. And we would come into work the next day and check that and be like, yeah, I'm number 1. And it was like competitive as hell for us. And then by the time that call center closed down, I was 17. We were all given the opportunity. They were going to pay to move us to Tempe, Arizona to work at the actual Apple call center. And I don't know if anybody went. I didn't. I was too scared. I was young. And I'm like, this sounds like a great opportunity. But I was afraid to move. I was so young. But it was a fun opportunity. And in hindsight, that was right around the time when the internet was like starting to first get big. Like every web page was like full of animated GIFs and all like GeoCities. That was a big thing. That's where I learned HTML. I learned from a GeoCities account. So, I mean, I was just a kid, but it was fun. I love this. Cornucopias is going to be massive. I really do think it is. I really do. And like realistically, let's say I buy Cornucopias or I get Copy token at like 2 cents. Let's just say it only went up to like $3 at the peak of the next market. I basically just did a whole new, I think I could probably get 1 million Copy tokens for like 10 grand or something, maybe. I mean, and then if that turns into $3 in 2025, I mean, $3 million off of 10 grand. I mean, that's just the way I see it. Now, obviously, a lot of that is going to be dependent on what the team does between now and then. So it's a matter of me really keeping my eye on what they're doing. I really want to get, I'd like to see some liquidity options added. I want to be able to maybe KuCoin, Binance US, they even I want to see a couple of regular exchanges, not just these DEXs, because the gateway to entry on these DEXs for newcomers, it's a little tricky. Even though it's easy, it's still a little daunting for people. I don't even like using DEXs. I just don't. I mean, maybe someday in the future, and I know that there are some DEX platforms that are basically set up more like a regular centralized exchange. I like that, but for right now, I don't want to touch it. I bought it when you tweeted it a while back. Oh, okay. I mean, hopefully that goes really well. ESP Academy. Wow. Impressive. Very cool. 355 of you guys live with me right now. We're about 45 minutes in. If you didn't get to see the meat of it all, just make sure you play it back and drop a comment. I mean, let me know in the comments below, what do you really think about Cornucopias, are you familiar with it? Is this the first you've heard of it? Does it look exciting at all just based off of the numbers and things? Check out some of the videos. Come back and let me know. Am I putting you in the right direction? That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to point people in really cool and interesting directions through this bear market so that you can plan on how you might be able to make $1 million or $2 million by 2025, 2026. And to me, it just feels like a Cardano at 2 cents kind of opportunity. Now, granted, obviously, this is a game. Games come and go. They rise and fail all the time. The gaming market is super fickle. I mean, it's like a really weird place where you never quite know what you're going to get. But you said this is really cool or something like that. Yeah, I think so. Copia is still sitting at 6.5x from its IDO price. Yeah, I mean, and that's cool. I mean, people that got in at the very, very ground floor when they first went public with things, they're at a 6.5. They've done a 6.5x. That's not too shabby. Damn, what if we all the first wave of hitters to get down on the corn? I mean, anything can happen. Where to buy Kopi? So if you go, there are two places, and they're two dexes. And again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm telling you not to buy it until you're familiar with what you're buying and you feel really, really good about it. Outside of that, don't bother. But if you like what you see and you're watching the videos and you're listening to the dev team and everything, you can pick it up at Pancake Swap. The only pair that I'm seeing is wrapped BNB token. So you can get it that way. And if you want to use Cardano, you can get it at Miniswap. So miniswap.org, and there are links right from the homepage of the website where it is. Yeah. Kopi token now on Cardano. So you can just click this and it takes you right to the Miniswap. You've got the token policy ID right there. So yeah, if you're really interested in picking it up right now, you can only get it on DEXs, BNB DEX and Cardano DEX. So hopefully that helps you guys. Sup Crow, longtime follower. What's up, Wendell? LTC, I guess you're a Litecoin follower. You're into the Litecoin. It's not even in the big exchange. It's not. Wait till it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like right now, it's like true believers and really, truly first adopters are the people that are going to be picking up Kopi tokens right now. And when it starts hitting some of the more mainstream exchanges and the volume starts to go up as these guys continue to reach more and more of their milestones, I'm telling you, I think this is going to be a really big deal. And I want to be one of the first people to be like, I told you guys. And I'm hoping that over the course of this bear market, I've got like 5 projects that I've kind of lined up. I've got Cardano, obviously, cornucopias, and I'm looking for 2 or 3 more that I'm like, okay, these are the ones that I'm going to really be eyeballing over the next couple years in the bear market, accumulating. If I can play a role in helping them in some ways, because I like to help what I believe in. I mean, I like to help and play a role in exposing and sharing and educating on things that I believe in. And I'm going to be doing follow-up videos. And I can tell you right now, when they actually start launching some of these game worlds and I'm able to go in and start building and doing fun things, I'm going to be doing videos. They're not going to be like, buy this, buy that. I'm into this, I'm into that. It's going to be like, listen, this is what I'm doing in this world and why I'm so glad I bought in and what I think is going to happen from here. So anyway, yeah, I'm really happy. I love cornucopias. You're talking the right project right now. I think so too. That's why I'm here. The question is how many people are going to be like, I'll wait, and that's totally cool. I don't want anybody getting into any project if you don't fully understand it. That's the big thing, and the reason why it's the same principle as like not investing more than you can afford to lose. Anything can happen in the crypto space tomorrow. I mean, literally anything could happen. So you don't ever want to put money into something that is on shaky ground or like really, really early startup or whatever, unless you fully understand everything there is to know. Because as soon as the market goes through some struggle and, you buy something and then the market starts to go through a shakeup or a correction and it starts to fall a little bit, if you don't know what's happening in the market cycles, you don't know what's happening with the project, you don't understand its long-term growth potential, you get shaken out. And that's the thing. It's establishing enough of an understanding about what you're putting your money into that you're not shaken out anytime things look a little weird. All right, let's see. Anything else? I genuinely hope your success grows and booms during and after this bear market. You deserve far more subs than all the Moon Boys. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. Man, if you guys have any idea how much I try to just educate and steer you guys in the right direction without all the bullshit, I really do. I'm honestly, I'm hoping to learn a lot of stuff about Kali Linux and maybe start helping some of you guys with some of that stuff too. I'd like to add some more diversity to the channel and get into things that I just think are fun, get into things that are fruitful, get into just things outside of just, hey, I love Cardano and here's why, and here's the latest news. I want to get into some more fun stuff, but I got to really believe in it. And that's the struggle. When you've been in the space since 2017, you've seen so much come and go. It's a lot more difficult to find things that really get you excited and inspired. And so, I'm doing what I can. I'm doing my best, but it's not easy. But luckily, Cornucopias is definitely one of those things. I'm really happy about it. And hopefully I can get something locked down with these guys because I think it'll be, I just think it'll be fun. I really do. Cornucopias is the best project you'll ever find. Listen to him carefully and get it early. We are the corn. All right. Hello, haha. That jaw, that's how everybody in like Puerto Rico and like that's how everybody says haha. It's actually Jaja. It took me a while to get used to. You're texting somebody and I'm like haha, and they go jaw. If markets go down a bit more than Bitcoin goes down, then alts go down more, then game tokens go even more than that. Possibly, but like somebody else said, it's currently at 6.5x over where it originally went public. And so anything is possible. If it were to go down 30% from where it's at, I don't know. If I could get it for a penny all day, I'll go buy 1 million tomorrow. I don't care what it's on. I'm going to be getting some tokens one way or another. But I would definitely prefer just being able to log in, buy what I need, trade it. I just don't like messing with DEXs right now. That's just my own personal thing. Let's go, Cornucopias. It sounds like quite a few of you guys are already well familiar with Cornucopias. So maybe you guys don't need me. What am I doing here? Well, you don't even need my help. You don't even need me. All crypto games are hype garbage at the moment. Square Enix and Ubisoft attempted to introduce blockchain games to their AAA audience, and it was flooded with all hate, and they turned it around. Yeah, I think that there's still a lot of people there's still a lot of people that don't understand NFTs. All they know about NFTs are that somebody bought a little JPEG of a rock for like $10 million and they think it's stupid. And that's all it's ignorance. It's just ignorance. It's all it is. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as just a fact. There's so many people that are still so ignorant to the blockchain and what's happening and why things are happening the way they are. But these people will come around. I mean, it's just a matter of getting in their face with something. Ultimately, I believe true mass adoption is going to come when we're building blockchain applications that the public is using and have no idea it's blockchain based. That's when true mass adoption is coming. Right now, everything has like technical hurdles associated with it. DEXs are a prime example. People need everything to be really, really easy. It's easy to inspire someone to take action. It's difficult to inspire someone enough to take difficult action. And I think that that's where we still are in the blockchain space. There's a lot of room to grow still. Dude, I've been following you since 2017. Glad to see you covering Cornucopias. This project has got me excited again like I was for Cardano back then. Love it. Exactly. That's where I'm at. A lot more than a game. Exactly. And I didn't even dive deep into it in this video. I'm just saying, hey, check this out. Bookmark the site, follow their socials, start paying attention because I mean, the position that Cornucopias is in right now is perfect. Where they're at in development, where they're at in what they're doing, how they're doing it, the community, all of it. Perfect. Because we're going to have 2 years to watch this thing grow. And as we watch it grow, the price is likely going to grow. And once we get to a point where we start hitting like real bull market territory after the halving, everything Cornucopias has done in the meantime is going to be what builds the steam like a steam kettle. And once that steam kettle blows, That's when things go really, really crazy. And that's when I think we could see $5, $6, $7 even in cornucopia price. As ridiculous as it sounds, I know. I went through all this already when I was talking about Cardano when it was 2 cents. Oh, it's never going to happen, Crow. It's never going to happen. It's never going to reach $1. It's never going to go back. It's never going to get to $2. I've seen it all. These people don't know what the hell they're talking about. They bought some other shit coin and they don't want the competition. That's really what it boils down to. And I even see other YouTubers, man, trying to FUD Cardano, call it this, call it that. They have no idea what they're talking about. They bought like Solana or something, or they've been holding Ethereum forever, and they're just maxis. They're maxis of other projects. They've joined the tribalism. I don't really believe in tribalism. I do love Cardano, and I know that there are going to be other blockchains out there that do exceedingly well for their speculators, their investors, their developers, so forth and so on. The world is a big place. We don't need one blockchain to rule them all. This isn't Lord of the fucking Rings. People just need to calm down and like really base projects on their merit, not just how much they hold of something else. I mean, that's it. And, and like I've always said, and I said, the bear market is the opportunity for people to get a clean slate and start over with something that maybe does better than they're picking the last market. I mean, who knows? It is what it is. Hey, Jason, any chance of a Celsius follow-up interview, maybe with super rich Charles again? Well, Charles isn't really like a Celsius evangelist. I'm sure I could probably message Alex and get him on the channel. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see me talk to Alex about what's happening with Celsius and maybe how they're preparing, what they're doing for it. I'm happy to do that if there's a demand. Network is going to go blows people's minds. Everything else will look like kid zones. I'm not sure what that is. Adam R., I see you in my chat. And you're always talking about random shit I've never even heard of. I don't know if I should take a look or what. I feel like every time you're in here, you got something else. Which is cool, man. I mean, it is what it is. Buy A to do. Don't risk building in the metaverse. Listen, metaverse is the future. I don't care what you think. Metaverse is the future. The metaverse. I was just answering questions. I guess I may be getting featured in some textbook that I guess is going to be going out. It's innovations or something like that. Once it's all done and I know exactly what's happening, I'll show it and I'll plug it and all of that stuff so everybody can see. But I was just answering questions, and I was answering questions about Web3 and the metaverse and what I think is going to happen and what I think the future looks like. And, I guess you'll just have to read it to see what I think there. But for early development, that looks good. It's something like Fortnite. It's really not like Fortnite. That's definitely too pigeonholed. This is a big open world. I mean, full of player-owned land and islands and all kinds of stuff. I mean, Fortnite is like you run around trying to kill each other until there's one man standing. This is open world. This is build whatever you want kind of thing. I have tons of property on Upland and don't know if it was a waste. Yeah. I remember Upland. I haven't been following it extensively. I remember initially something about it. I may have talked about it. I'm not sure. Go all in right now. Got it. No, that's not what I'm saying, but that's funny. Cornucopia's NFTs holding well in the bear market as well, because it's still on the ground floor. That's the thing. It's like, people talk about Cardano this, Cardano that. It's the same with Cardano. Cardano's still not finished. It's functional and it works and it has a lot of utility and there's a lot going on with it. We've got smart contracts, NFTs, we've got all that stuff. But for me, it's about true throughput, scalability, interoperability. The primary things that really drew me into the Cardano roadmap and the overall plan for its development, they're still not done yet. And now here we are in a bear market, and it's going to be projects that have proven to achieve a certain number of milestones within their development cycle as it relates to what they've laid out in their roadmaps. It's that trust, that faith, that foresight, that planning, and being able to maintain that over a long haul. That is going to be what ultimately sends the prices into the next stratosphere at the next market peaks. Again, there's never a guarantee. And I always feel like I have to say it, even though, Nothing is certain, ever. Nothing. I don't care if I sold everything I own and accumulated more Cardano at the bottom, expecting it just to go back to $3 at the peak of the next market. That's not even a guarantee. It doesn't matter what I say or how much I love a project. I don't care how many YouTubers or influencers or educators or whatever are talking about this is going to happen and that's going to happen. None of us have a freaking idea. We don't know 100% anything. All we can do is put in the time to better understand the technology, understand more about who's building what, when, how, and how long it's going to take to launch, and make a best guess. That's it. None of us are financial advisors. None of us know any more than anyone else could. Really, we read the same shit. We read through the white papers, but that's the big difference. Many of us actually read through the entire white papers before we start talking about something. We go through, and some of us really, like with cornucopias in my case, I've been kind of watching it for a while now, seeing where it goes, what's happening, what are the development updates, what's happening with the team, stuff like that, which is why now I'm comfortable doing a big video like this where it's kind of all about this particular project, and they're not even paying me shit to talk about it. I just really genuinely like it, and I like what these guys are doing, and I expect to see significantly more coming as we continue through this next bear market into the next peak. So with that being said, we've just did an hour live with 355 of you still sitting in chat. Yeah, I mean, thanks for joining me. It's Monday, guys. Let's get productive. Let's see what we can do. Make sure you leave all your questions, comments down below. What is this? Never got to give you that, McAllen. Hope this lets you get some. Cheers, Crow. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Stephen Thornton. I remember. Yeah. You didn't have to do that, but that's cool. I can't even see it so that I can highlight it and show everyone. Hold on. Let me see if it's down further. I don't know how I missed that. And it says you're on YouTube. So, oh, there it is. Stephen Thornton basically tipped me like 90 pounds. Is that pounds? So that's like $25 million in USD, isn't it? I'm kidding. Yeah, I forgot all about that. I'm always weird because I do get people that want to like send me stuff. They're like, "What's your address?" I'm like, I don't know. And I still have a PO box, but I don't have a PO box yet in Florida. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm always weird. I was really, really paranoid for a while, especially like around the hacks and all that stuff that was going on. I'm like, man, I'm going to be walking down the street and there's going to be a van that pulls up and they're like, "You Crow?" And I'm like, depends on who. And before I've even finished that, they're like tucking me into a back of a van, trying to call my wife for hostage money or something. I don't know. I can be a real bad dude, though. You get me going in the street. You got to watch yourself, but I can't fight off a bunch of gunmen with like whatever. I'm not delusional. So I am a little careful, a little cautious. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Steve. And I do appreciate it. And listen, guys, until next time, make sure you hit that like button for me if you don't mind. If you find my content useful, show your love with some engagement. Leave those questions and comments below. I really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, I'll probably see you tomorrow with something else. See you soon. Grow your coins.